Last session, Esteban came to in the clinic, his first sensations a numbing ache and an odd heat flaring inside. Corvus's familiar bond felt altered, no longer an avian ally, but a force residing within him, ready to be shaped. Grathis hovered so close the nurse had warned him not to touch. Artie stood watchful. The nurse pronounced Esteban reckless but stable and urged them to wait out the night. Esteban had other ideas. He took Grathis' paper and sketched the thing that had pierced him, naming it a Momono, a mimic that loathes humanity, eats organs, and toys with its prey. He added the worst of it. It had been invisible when it struck. Guard whistles cut the room like knives. They ran through lamplit streets to find a crowd and a line of guards at a humble door. Inside, Captain Rafferty, visibly shaken, stepped aside. The body was a horror of extra wounds carved to inflict pain. Artie found an armor stand with guard kit, and Rafferty confirmed what the chin scruff could still prove. Barris Cole. Esteban's conclusion was cold. The killer was deliberately suffering him. It felt targeted. They went at once to Mayor Melvin's home. The hall rose high for the big man in emerald-striped nightclothes, unseen service-set tea. Esteban briefed him. A Momono was no simple doppelganger, but a hateful infiltrator that kills for taste and torment. Rafferty laid out the town's fault lines, resentment toward the Silver Talon Company, rumors tying outside merchants to the Golden Dynasty, and the Accords acting as its glove. The merchant Cato Rin, who'd once supplied Melvin rare books, was dead. Melvin promised his private library by noon. Rafferty would bring the mortician's analysis. The inn was somber when they returned. Kaldor Vale of the Talons asked across the room if the victim was Barris. A bowed head answered. Grathis hauled a chair to their table anyway. He pressed. Why hadn't the Talons moved when trouble rattled the common room, and what job had just been celebrated? Kaldor said the room froze under strange magic and kept his client's secrets. Tension sharpened when the gnome kissed a curved dagger, and Grathis bared his teeth with a smile of his own. The half-orc's eyes held a hint of respect. The masked woman and ash-skinned man simply watched. Upstairs, Esteban's window proved sealed as if encased in stone, the only mercy from his earlier desperate magic. Artie sat down against the door to be the wedge. Sleep brought unease. Artie felt a thudding heartbeat and heard a whisper, "We must be free," a yearning for release from bonds he couldn't name. Grathis dreamed of black-scaled enemies just out of reach, rage burning uselessly in his claws. Esteban relived the Momono's strike, the hateful eye just beyond his grasp. Birds greeted them at dawn. With Melvin's books, the mortician's report, and a killer growing bolder, the hunt would resume with higher stakes.